Yo, I got knowledge that I get of my people, whether they black, African, Asian, Indian, Caucasian, Puerto Rican, Latin, man or woman, know what's happening. The answer is knowledge itself. But who's asking is love that I get of my people, whether they black, African, Asian, Indian, Caucasian, Puerto Rican, Latin, man or woman, know what's happening. The answer is knowledge itself. I tell these kids put down the guns and blunt and pick up a book.
Mic check, mic check. What's kicking, family? I'm glad you've clicked in so I can check in with you. What I want to kick it about is Donte Stallworth. And I believe this is like a closure to what's happened with that young man and the unfortunate incident that happened that morning. Okay, I don't need to get into all the semantics and all the minutia of stuff like this, but bottom line is this: you've seen the reports. He's got 10 years probation, something like 2 years house arrest, had to surrender his license for life. And the big piece is he has been suspended indefinitely by Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell released a very terse statement. And like, you know, I've written in responses on some of you guys out there, and I've said the commissioner doesn't play. You know, he had to do what was right for the current ball players and the league. You know, you have to set an example and set a high standard, because the repercussions and the backlash can be very severe for that, you know, for that company. Hey, you got to think about it. Company, right? Your football team is now, you know, they operate on the other side as a company. Now, getting back to Mr. Stallworth. And there was a lot of outrage on the sports talk radios, and it was very like, wow, how could this guy do this, that, and the other? And then they were comparing Mr. Stallworth's case with Mr. Burris's case, talking about, well, if he's able to come back and play, then Burris could come back and play. Guess what? That door has been shut on Burris. So the whole thing with Plaxico Burris, I mean, as I digress, Plaxico Burris messed up last year when he should have took a plea bargain and got this thing out of the way as soon as possible. Now, what I think, in my opinion, is that Burris is going to miss roughly 2 years. He's going to be out of football for 2 years, and then when he comes back, all he'll be is a good possession receiver. Now, getting back to Mr. Stallworth. There was a lot of outrage on the sports talk radios talking about, oh, all he's got is 30 days. Then it came down to 20-something days because he had time served. What about the family? Yo, the family took the money. Look, bottom line is this. If I get taken out like that, and, you know, my family can get the money to make sure that they're comfortable right away, take it. Take it. Come on now. I mean, when you look at it, right, a litigation takes something like 3 to 8 years. You think this family would have 3 to 8 years to wait through litigation to be thinking about the anguish of what happened to that man over time being? It's over with. All right, let's move on. Because if it was me and it happened to me and my family can be better because of the unfortunate accident. Look, I'm looking at it in real terms now. You got to look at it in real terms and in that situation. Me, for my family, take the money and run. Whatever kind of settlement you got, because you never know what happens down the road. Now, getting back to Mr. Stallworth, it's unfortunate now that with all this outrage, they're talking about him getting 30 days. That is almost like, you know, a death sentence, so to speak, because, you know, he's going to be gone this year. He'll probably be gone next year, right? And there's no telling if and when he'll be reinstated. Roger Goodell, the new commissioner, is not playing. These ball players out here ought to know he's not playing. I just listened to Tom Coughlin, the coach for the Giants, on the radio. He was doing his thing with Mr. Francesa, and they talk about them talking to the youth, the younger players as they come in, and also the veterans, about sacrifice, giving up, you know, some of those guilty pleasures and whatnot for the betterment of the team, and in some cases for the betterment of the person. So, you know, I feel sorry for Mr. Stallworth, but it happened. That's the consequences of his choice. This is Mr. Batch. Peace.
Yo, I got knowledge that I get of my people, whether they black, African, Asian, Indian, Caucasian, Puerto Rican, Latin, man or woman, know what's happening. The answer is knowledge itself. But who's asking is love that I get of my people, whether they black, African, Asian, Indian, Caucasian, Puerto Rican, Latin, man or woman, know what's happening. The answer is knowledge itself. I tell these kids put down the guns and blunt and pick up a book.